Thank you to Thunderbird Perch for making this video possible. Subscribe for more explorations. Section 1. The Map Trap at the Heart of the Rockies. There is a puzzle hidden at Pikes Peak. We can call it the Map Trap. It is a clever trick of paper and ink. This trap exists at a special point on the land. It is where 3 counties meet: Teller, Fremont, El Paso. The spot is very close to a place called Lake Moraine. It sits quietly under the great shadow of Pikes Peak, the Ute. People have always called it Tavá, the Sun Mountain. If you look at the maps we use today, you will not see anything strange or important at this meeting point. Everything looks normal, just lines on a page showing hills, streams, roads. But the old records tell a very different story. They hint at something much bigger, something deliberately hidden from view. Back in the 1870s, official government mapmakers divided this land. They cut it into many small pieces. They used USGS 7.5-minute quadrangles. The one special place, the node of great interest, was carefully split. It was cut into 3 separate maps. To see the whole picture, you must have all 3. Section 2. The Cover Story. A weather station on the peak. One of the most important clues is a map from 1874. This map is now very hard to find. It showed the Pikes Peak Military Reservation as a single, large block of land. But later maps from the same government agencies do not show it this way. The official story for this reservation was simple. The land was needed for the U.S. Army Signal Service. They wanted to build a weather station on the high slopes of the peak. At the time, this seemed like a perfectly reasonable explanation. Weather forecasting was a new and important science. High-altitude stations were very valuable for collecting data and for sending signals. However, a serious problem exists with this official story. The amount of land that was withdrawn was huge. Several executive orders were signed to set aside this territory. The total acreage was far, far larger than what a small weather station would ever need. A simple observation post needs only a few acres at most for buildings, equipment, access. But the military reservation took up a vast area of the mountain. This big difference between the stated purpose and the amount of land taken raises a very important question. Why did they really need to control so much of the mountain? The answer might be found in notes and files from that time. Some of these old documents point to much heavier activity than just watching the weather. They speak of more than a simple signal post. They mention structures, foundations, being studied within the reservation's boundaries. Section 3. Secrets in Stone. The Cancellations of the 1880s. The story gets even more interesting in the late 1880s. 1888, 1890. A large number of mining patents and land claims were suddenly canceled by the government. The official reason given to the public was simple and sounded responsible. The government said it needed to protect the watershed for the city of Colorado Springs. The city was growing, and it needed clean water. This explanation made sense on the surface. Protecting a water supply is a common and necessary action for any government to take. It was a reason that few people would question at the time. But when we look closer, a pattern emerges. They were clustered in a very specific area. Lake Moraine, 7 lakes. This is the very same area at the heart of the map trap. It is also the same area where earlier surveyors had noted strange things. Some original survey notes from the 1870s had described Cyclopean masonry, unnatural stone foundations near these small lakes. They also noted unusual features along the path that is now known as Gold Camp Road. By the year 1890, a quiet but significant change occurred in the official records. Those earlier, intriguing notes were edited and reworded. The features that were once called masonry and foundations were now relabeled. They were described simply as jointed granite outcrops. This relabeling moves evidence from archaeology into geology. Geologists might not look twice. Archaeologists would have no reason to investigate. Just to the west of the 3-county meeting point, there is a hill called Mount Pisgah. To most people who see it today, it looks like a normal, natural hill. It is covered with trees and rocks, just like the other hills in the area. But some old files and alternative theories suggest it is much more than that. The Tavá Hypothesis argues that Mount Pisgah is not a natural formation at all. It proposes that the hill is actually a massive, human-made structure. Specifically, it suggests the mountain has been shaped into a tetrahedral pyramid, a pyramid with 4 triangular faces. If this is true, then Mount Pisgah could be a key part of a much larger design. This shaped pyramid might create a deliberate alignment with other important points on the landscape. It could line up with Tavá, the sun mountain of Pikes Peak, and with the complex of lakes at Lake Moraine. Such alignments would form a precise geometric circuit across the entire region. There is another layer to the story of this mountain. The famous Masonic leader Albert Pike is connected to this area through later Masonic activities. Some researchers have wondered if Pike and others knew about the special nature of this place. Did they recognize Mount Pisgah as an ancient marker? It is possible they used the mountain to perform a ritual. They may have wanted to consecrate the site, marking it as a powerful energy node according to their own beliefs. They might have left their own symbols or markers there to show that the place was special and understood. This idea suggests a continuity of knowledge, hinting that secrets of Pikes Peak were kept long after the original builders were gone. The mountain may hold more than one secret. It was recognized, visited, and perhaps even used by powerful and knowledgeable people in more recent history. The lakes in this area may not be what they seem. Lake Moraine, familiar mountain lake. The nearby group of 7 lakes, scenic at first glance. But the Tavá Hypothesis offers a radical new idea. It suggests these lakes were not natural ponds. Instead, key parts of a huge, high-altitude hydraulic battery. Water held high stores huge potential energy. Release it in a controlled way. You convert that energy. It's a simple principle of physics. Such a system needs more than reservoirs. It would need a complete circuit. The Arkansas River, far below to the south, could be critical. It could act as the ground, the return path for the energy current. Small lakes, old man-made channels, strange stone structures. These may be surviving pieces of a sophisticated energy system. Water, stone, precise geometry. Think of it as a giant, natural battery. Lakes at the top, the positive terminal, full of stored energy. The river at the bottom, the negative terminal. The channels, the wires, the stoneworks, the components that control the flow. The entire area becomes a machine built from the mountain itself. We use falling water to make power today. The principle is timeless. This idea of a power center at Pikes Peak does not exist alone. It connects to a web of similar stories and myths from many different cultures all around the world. The native Hopi people have legends of powerful beings who understood the energies of the earth. The Ute, who lived at the foot of Tavá, have their own sacred stories about the mountain. Far to the south, in ancient Mesoamerica, the tales of the Olmec and the Aztec. These stories often speak of gods or watchers who came from the sky. These beings were masters of stone and energy. Some modern writers and researchers see a link between all of these local myths. They connect them to other ancient texts, like the Book of Enoch. The Book of Enoch describes a group of beings called the Watchers who came to Earth and taught humanity forbidden knowledge. These stories are similar to the Mesopotamian legends of the Anunnaki, who were said to have come from the heavens to mine for gold and build great cities. All of these stories seem to describe the same event: advanced beings interacting with early humans and manipulating the Earth itself. If they used a global network of Earth energy nodes, then Tavá at Pikes Peak could have been a very important site. It could have been the main North American node in this worldwide grid, a key point in a larger system of power stations or sacred places that span the planet. This perspective suggests our history is incomplete, and that the mystery of Pikes Peak may be part of a global solution. So, we must ask the final, provocative question. Was the famous Pikes Peak gold rush of 1891 a genuine accidental discovery, or was it something else entirely? Could it have been a clever and convenient cover story? Imagine secret work inside the military reservation finding something incredible. Perhaps they did not find gold. Perhaps they found ancient stonework. Perhaps they found strange tunnels. Perhaps they found advanced devices left by a lost civilization. Such a discovery would be world-changing, and a secret, powerful people would want to control. A gold rush would be the perfect way to manage that. It provides an instant reason to bring thousands of men, heavy equipment, a lot of money, into a remote area. It allows massive excavation to take place in plain sight. Strange tunnels or structures can be explained away as old, forgotten mines. The rush would create chaos and excitement, drawing attention away from the real purpose. It would allow authorities to control land and the story. They could close off areas and manage all information from the mountain. The events we have seen fit this pattern perfectly. First, create a large military reservation under a plausible cover. Then, private land claims in sensitive zones are systematically cancelled. This clears the area of independent witnesses. Finally, a gold rush supplies manpower and machines for massive excavation disguised as a search for wealth. Was it a discovery of gold, or a cover for the excavation of a god?